My name is Anna. I am 23 years old. I live in San Francisco. I sell ice cream. I drive an old ice cream van. It is white and pink. I love my van. It makes me happy. Every day I drive the van to the same streets. I go at 4 p.m. I play music from the van. It is a soft, happy song. The children know this song. When they hear it, they run outside. I sell many kinds of ice cream. I have chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and mint. I also sell ice pops. I keep everything cold inside the van. The cold air feels good on hot days. I always smile when I give ice cream. I love to see happy faces. The children love me. They call me Ice Cream Anna. Some wave from far away. Some wait on the sidewalk. Some jump and laugh when they see my van. It makes me feel warm inside. I always say hello to every child. I remember the first day I drove the van. I was nervous. I did not know if the children would come. I parked near a school. I waited. Then one small boy came. His name was Ben. He looked shy. He asked for chocolate. I smiled and said, "Of course." After that, he came every day. Soon, more children came too. Now I know many children by name. There is Ben, Mia, Lucas, Ella, and Sam. There is also little Grace. She is only 4. She loves strawberry. She cannot say my name, so she calls me Anna Ice. Some children tell me about their day. Some tell me jokes. Some just smile and eat quietly. I like to listen. I try to make every child feel special. I ask them how they feel. I remember their birthdays. On their birthday, I give one free ice cream. They love that. Sometimes parents come too. They smile and say thank you. They tell me I am kind. Some say I remind them of when they were young. One mother told me, "You are part of this street now." That made me cry a little. I live in a small flat. It is not fancy, but I like it. I have a small kitchen and a big window. I park my van in front at night. In the morning, I clean it. I check the freezer. I make sure the music works. One time the music did not work. I drove to the street in silence. The children did not hear me. I saw them look around, confused. Then Ben saw me and shouted, "She's here!" All the children ran out. I laughed and waved. After that, I fixed the speaker. Another time it rained all day. I thought the children would stay inside. But when I came at 4, some of them were waiting under umbrellas. Their clothes were wet, but they were smiling. I gave them warm napkins and big cones. I will never forget that day. There is one boy named Daniel. He is 8. He never talks much. He stands alone and waits. I always give him extra sprinkles. One day he looked at me and said, "I like you, Anna." That was the first time he spoke to me. My heart felt full. I do not make a lot of money. Some days I sell only a few cones, but that is okay. I do this because I love it. I love the city, the smiles, the soft music, and the sweet smell. I love being outside and seeing people. I also love making new ice cream flavors. On Sundays, I try new things. One time I made banana and honey. The children loved it. Another time I made green apple. They did not like that. Mia said, "It tastes like grass." I laughed. I never sell old ice cream. I want every cone to taste fresh. I wake up early. I check everything. I wash my hands. I clean the van windows. I count the cups and spoons. I do all this with love. I did not always sell ice cream. Before I worked in a shop. It was inside a big mall. I stood all day and felt tired. The lights were too bright. I missed the sun. I wanted to smile more. I wanted to see people laugh. One day, I saw an old ice cream van for sale. It was parked behind a small store. I looked at it. It was dusty and slow, but I saw something in it. I bought it with my savings. My family thought I was crazy. They said, "Anna, you will not earn much." But I said, "I will be happy." And I was right. I have never been happier. I do not have a big house, but I have a big heart. Every evening I come home tired. My arms feel heavy. My back hurts a little, but I feel good inside. I take a hot shower. I eat a simple meal. I write in my small notebook. I write about the children. I write about their smiles, their words, their drawings. Some give me pictures they make at school. I hang them on the wall in my van. One day, a boy named Sam gave me a drawing. It showed my van with children around it. He wrote, "Anna makes the world sweet." I cried that night. I did not know I mattered that much. Sometimes I see people walk past me fast. They wear nice clothes and talk on phones. They do not see me, but that is okay. I am here for the children. I am here for their joy. They wait for me. They believe in me. That is all I need. One afternoon, a teacher from the local school came to me. She said, "You help more than you know. Some children wait for you all day. You are their bright spot." I did not know what to say. I just smiled. I never shout. I never get angry. Even when the van breaks, I stay calm. The children learn from me. They learn to be kind. They learn to share. They say please and thank you. They learn with ice cream. I dream of one day painting the van with little handprints. Each child can add their color. It will be our van, not just mine. I want them to feel part of it. I think I will do it this summer. One time a little girl fell and hurt her knee. She cried. I gave her a soft napkin and a small ice pop. She stopped crying and said, "Thank you, Anna." Her mother came later and hugged me. This job is not just selling ice cream. It is sharing love. It is giving joy. It is showing children they matter. At 4 p.m., they come with hope. And I come with kindness. I don't know what my future will be. Maybe one day I will open a small ice cream shop. Maybe not. But for now, I love my van. I love the streets. And I love the sound of small feet running toward me every afternoon. Before I share the rest of my story, I need to know, where are you listening from? Knowing someone hears me, understands me, gives me strength. One day, something different happened. I was driving to my usual street. The sun was bright. The sky was blue. The music played from my van. I felt happy. Then, suddenly, my van made a loud noise. It stopped moving. I tried to turn the key again. Nothing. I felt scared. I looked at the time. It was 3:50 p.m. The children would be waiting soon. I opened the hood. I saw smoke. I did not know what to do. A man came from a nearby shop. His name was Peter. He looked at the engine. He said, "You need help." I said, "Yes, please." "The children are waiting." He smiled and said, "Let's see what I can do." Peter worked fast. He had tools in his car. He fixed a wire. He cleaned something with a cloth. I watched him. My heart beat fast. It was now 4:10 p.m. I felt so sad. I thought the children would be gone. Finally, the engine started, and I said, "Thank you. Thank you." Peter smiled. "Go bring joy," he said. I drove fast, but safe. When I turned the corner, I saw them. They were still there. They were sitting on the sidewalk. When they saw the van, they jumped up. They clapped. Some shouted my name. I stopped the van and laughed. "Sorry I'm late," I said. "The van was tired today." They laughed too. I gave everyone extra toppings that day. That evening, I went home tired but grateful. I sat by my window and watched the sunset. I thought about Peter. I would bring him a free cone tomorrow. He saved the day. The next day, I went to thank Peter. I brought a chocolate cone with caramel. He smiled when he saw me. "This is for you," I said. "You helped many children." He laughed. "It was nothing." But I could see it meant something to him. After that, Peter and I became friends. He sometimes helped me clean the van. He showed me how to check the oil and the tires. I liked talking to him. He was kind and calm. One day he said, "You have a good heart, Anna." I smiled and said, "So do you." We sat outside his shop and talked for an hour. It felt nice. As weeks passed, I noticed something. Daniel, the quiet boy, started coming earlier. He brought his younger sister. Her name was Lily. She was 5. She held his hand tightly. She never spoke. I gave her a small vanilla cone with rainbow sprinkles. She looked at it, then at me. Slowly, she smiled. That smile made my day. From then on, she came every day. One day, Daniel said, "Lily was sad before, but now she waits for you every day." I looked at Lily. She held her cone with both hands. She looked happy. I said, "She is a sweet girl." Daniel said, "She says you are her best friend." I almost cried. I never knew ice cream could do so much. It made people smile. It helped children feel safe. It made them talk, laugh, and feel seen. I felt lucky to do this work. In July, the city had a small festival. There were games, music, and food. They asked me to bring my van. I said yes. I cleaned it for hours. I made a new flavor for that day, blueberry cream. I put little flags on the van. When I arrived, many children ran to me. "Anna!" they shouted. I laughed. I gave free cones for the first hour. Parents took pictures. One man said, "You are the heart of this town." That was the nicest thing I ever heard. That night, I came home late. I looked in the mirror. My face was tired, but my eyes were bright. I was proud. I was not rich. I did not have many things, but I had love. I had purpose. The next morning, I got a letter. It was from City Hall. They said they saw me at the festival. They said my van brings joy. They offered me a small award. I was so surprised. I did not expect this. At the event, they gave me a paper with my name on it. "For kindness and joy to the children of this city," it said. I stood on the stage and smiled. I looked at the children in the crowd. They clapped for me. Some waved. After the event, Grace ran to me. "You're famous now," she said. I laughed. "Only a little," I said. I gave her a big cone. "Famous people give free cones," I said. She giggled. Later that month, I painted the van, just like I dreamed. I asked every child to dip their hand in paint and press it on the van. Red, blue, green, yellow, small hands everywhere. It looked beautiful. Some parents took pictures. They said, "This is special." I agreed. The van was no longer just mine. It was ours. A van of memories, love, and color. One day, a teacher stopped by. She said, "Do you want to visit our school and talk to the class?" I was surprised. "Me?" I asked. She said yes. "You do more than sell ice cream," she said. "You teach kindness." I said yes. The next week, I visited the school. I wore a clean white shirt and brought small cones for each child. I talked about dreams. I said, "You can do big things with small acts." I saw their eyes shine. I was happy. That night, I wrote in my notebook. I wrote, "Today I felt like more than just Ice Cream Anna. I felt like a guide, a friend, a light." I closed the book with a smile. Soon after, something big happened. A man came to me. He was from a local newspaper. He said he wanted to write a story about me. I said, "Why?" He said, "You are part of the city's heart." He took pictures. He asked about my story. I told him everything about the van, the children, the music, and the 4 p.m. magic. A week later, the article came out. It was called "The Sweetheart of San Francisco." People came to my van and showed me the newspaper. Some brought flowers. Some just smiled. One old woman said, "You remind me of my childhood." That made me cry. Peter read the story too. He came to me one evening and said, "Anna, you are truly special." I looked at him and smiled. "Thank you for helping me that day," I said. "If you didn't fix the van, I would have missed the children." He looked at me and said, "Maybe I fixed more than the van that day." I felt quiet. I did not know what to say. My heart felt soft. I looked down and smiled. I started to think about my life. I started with one van and a small dream. I wanted to sell ice cream and see smiles. But I found something more. I found family in these streets. I found meaning. Now, every day at 4 p.m., I drive with joy. I look at the small hands waving. I hear the happy voices. I feel the sun on my face. And I know this is where I belong. Summer turned into fall. The air became cooler. The leaves on the trees changed color. I started wearing a light sweater in the van. Some children came with jackets, but they still waited for me at 4 p.m. I added warm drinks to the menu. Hot chocolate and warm milk with cinnamon. The children liked that. Grace said, "Now you sell hugs in a cup." I laughed and said, "Yes, I do." One day, Daniel came to me alone. His eyes looked sad. I asked, "Where is Lily today?" He looked down and said, "She is sick." I gave him 2 small cones. One for him, one for Lily. "Tell her I miss her," I said. He smiled a little and nodded. That night I felt worried. Lily was always smiling. I hoped she was okay. I wrote about her in my notebook. Said, "Some hearts are small but very bright." 2 days later, Daniel and Lily came back. Lily looked weak but happy. She held a small picture. She had drawn me in the van. I had wings like an angel. I hugged her and said, "This is the best gift ever." I put her picture on the wall inside the van. The days grew shorter. The sun set earlier. Some streets were dark by 5 p.m. Still, I came. Still, they waited. Sometimes we stood close just to stay warm. I brought extra napkins and blankets to keep the children cozy while they ate. One evening, Peter waited by the curb. He held a paper cup. "Hot chocolate?" I asked. He smiled. "Only if it's from the best van in town." I gave him one. Free. Special for the man who saved my van. We sat on the step of the van and talked. The street was quiet. The children had all gone home. Peter said, "You really changed this place, Anna." I looked at him. "No," I said. "They changed me." That winter, something sad happened. Ben and his family had to move. His father got a new job far away. On Ben's last day, he waited near the van. He didn't smile. He just stood there. I came out and gave him a big cone with 2 scoops. 1 chocolate, 1 vanilla. "Your favorite," I said. He looked up and asked, "Will they have someone like you there?" I felt my chest tighten. I knelt beside him. "Maybe, but if not, you can always write to me." He handed me a small note. It said, "Thank you for making my childhood happy." I hugged him. He held me tight. I waved at his car the next morning. My eyes were full of tears. He waved back from the back seat. He pressed his hand on the window. I will never forget that. I did not see him again, but I kept his note in my drawer. I read it on hard days. It reminds me why I do this. As the new year came, something changed in me. I wanted to do more. I wanted to bring my ice cream to places where children couldn't come outside. So I called a children's hospital. I asked if I could bring my van to their parking lot once a week. The nurse said yes. I was so happy. I cleaned the van for hours. I made extra soft cones that day. When I arrived at the hospital, a nurse helped me set up. She said, "Some of them can't walk much, but they will come in wheelchairs." I nodded. I felt nervous but ready. Soon, small faces came toward me. Some wore masks. Some looked tired, but when they saw the ice cream, they smiled. One girl whispered, "I never thought I'd get ice cream here." I gave her the biggest cone. That day was special. I cried a little on the drive home, but they were good tears. I felt lucky again. Peter met me that evening. He brought dinner. We sat at my small table. He said, "You did something big today." I said, "No. I just brought ice cream." He shook his head. "You brought more than that." One night, Peter and I were walking in the park. The stars were out. He stopped and said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Of course." He took a small box from his coat. My heart began to race. He opened it. Inside was a simple gold ring. "Anna," he said, "will you marry me?" I covered my mouth. My eyes filled with tears. I smiled and said, "Yes." We hugged under the stars. I felt so full of love. I did not think this job would bring me so much, but it brought me everything. We did not plan a big wedding, just a small one with family and friends. I wore a dress that felt soft and warm. The children were there too. Mia gave me flowers. Lucas made a card. Grace hugged me and said, "Now you are Anna Ice and Anna Love." After the wedding, I took 1 week off. But I missed the van. I missed the music. I missed 4 p.m. On the first day back, I drove to the street. It was spring again. The sun was shining. When I turned the corner, I saw them. The children were holding balloons and signs. One said, "We missed you." I parked and stepped out. They ran to me. They gave me hugs, cards, and flowers. Lily gave me a small box. Inside was a tiny heart made of paper. It said, "Anna makes hearts happy." I cried again. I always cry with love. Now I still go every day. I still serve cones. I still hear laughter. I now have a second van too. Peter helped me fix it. He drives it to the hospital while I go to the school streets. We work as a team. He plays the same music. The children know it. They say, "Now we have 2 happy vans." I don't know what the future will bring, but I know this. Every day at 4 p.m., I will be there with a smile, a scoop, and a heart full of love, because every child waits for me, and I wait for them too.